everybody. I'm Larry Ridley, and this is Madden 17 on EA Sports. It's opening week in the NFL, and today we have two teams who are more than ready to get the season underway. It's the Raiders going up against the Saints. With that, we're off to the Bayou, as it's time to debut our new broadcast team for 2016. Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Larry, thank you. We are down on the Bayou as you get a look inside the Mercedes-Benz Superdome in New Orleans. Today, the opener of the 2016 NFL season between the Oakland Raiders and the New Orleans Saints. They come out here in the eye.
Kill, 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 kill. Under, kill.
Now the 6-year man from Alabama, it's Mark Ingram. And he'll be tackled at about the 35. Give him 10 yards on the pickup, and it'll be second and very short. For the ball carrier there, Mark Ingram, in his 6th season now with the Saints.
Yet to have a 1,000-yard season, but any guy who wins the Heisman Trophy, you know the potential's always there.
Yeah, but you're right. Yet to get to 1,000. Had 769 last year in 12 games.
Hey, yellow winger.
Again, they'll run with Ingram. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. When we sat with the coaching staff a couple of days ago, they said attacking that defensive look with a run, something they wanted to do, it was effective.
And they were extremely confident, weren't they? Their planning, their preparation, they knew what they were going to get in that defense, and they were able to attack it accordingly.
This is Ingram on 1st and 10. And he's swallowed up right near the line of scrimmage. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. The headshots here are the offensive unit, and what about Brandon Cooks?
If he's not a 1,000-yard receiver every year he's healthy in the league, I'll be surprised. Came out of college wanting to be a pro, studied all the best receivers in the NFL before he even got to the league.
Second down following the run. Play action to Spiller. Now Breeze. Brought in left side by Snead. And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. And we take a look now at the defense for the Raiders.
When I watch Khalil Mack play, I just see fury, passion, and incredible athleticism. This guy can flat-out play.
Well, still in search of the first down after that last completion. So 3rd and 7 and an extra defensive back on the field here.
Definitely want to play coverage here.
Kill, kill. Mike 5-4, Mike 5-4.
Now Breeze on 3rd down. And Thomas has it. And he's got the first down before being taken down at the 46.
What's fun to watch is these college receivers transitioning into the NFL and how they grow as route runners. Because a lot of times now in the college game, the spread offenses, there aren't that many routes that they're actually running. Most of the time, they're just trying to find open space and present themselves to the quarterback as easy targets. But in the NFL, you've got to run the entire route tree, and you've got to run it well if you expect to get open.
And with the play clock winding down, we're going to get a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. So the offense has it 1st and 10. Now a play fake here on 1st down. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down.
We know it's not an easy job to go out and catch passes when people are trying to tackle you and knock the ball away. But the bottom line is, that's a pass he's got to have and a pass he should have caught.
So the D-line's going to spread out. Breeze again here on 2nd and 10. Dumps it off for Spiller. And a nice gain of 21 yards. They were ready for what the defense was showing. They had prepared for that look, recognized it, went straight to the air, got the first. Well done.
Love the recognition because you can prepare for everything. You can watch the tape and put together your game plan, but you still have to understand what they're doing in terms of what they're showing and be able to adjust accordingly, and they did exactly that.
And he's brought down. It's a really nice 15-yard pickup, and now it's 1st and goal.
And this has been an excellent drive to start the game off. Move the ball downfield well. Now they're set up at 1st and goal after that last really nice run. Exactly how a coach would draw things up. This is how you want to start a game, and that's all they've preached all week long about how they wanted to come out of the gate.
1st and goal here from the 9. And this time they were ready for him as he's taken down at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there. It'll be 2nd down. Crashing in from the end there, not to disrupt the pass game, but to disrupt the run game.
Yeah, I love the distinction, too, because the good defensive ends, they can do it all. Set the edge in the run game, make sure that no one can move it that way, and, of course, rush the passer. On that play, use his speed to get there in the run game.
And he's got him. It's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans. Willie Snead, a 9-yard touchdown grab. And the Saints take it right down the field and score on the opening drive. And his kick is right through. Morstead out now following the touchdown to kick. That's fielded in the end zone. And the decision to come out is going to cost him 5 yards with a new rule as he's taken down right at the 20-yard line. Murray the lone setback. And he'll get it up the middle. And he'll take this one only up to about the 21. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. And Mr. Cooper Amari, a headliner in this offensive unit.
Brandon, it's rare that you get guys so polished coming out of college. But Amari Cooper has carried himself like a pro probably since he was 6 years old. He is a terrific talent.
And after the play on the ground, that brings up 2nd down here.
All right, here we go. Zebra. Zebra. Oh, baby, alert. Alert. Here we go. Red 18. Red 18.
They go with Murray again. And he will fight his way forward to about the 23-yard line. Just a couple on the pickup there, and now it's 3rd down. And here now, New Orleans defensive unit.
Kenny Vaccaro is an excellent player. Can cover in the slot, but his best attributes, tackling people and rushing the quarterback.
The Saints with an extra defensive back here on 3rd on the field.
Could they blitz?
Throwing his car on 3rd down. Completes it to Marcel Reese. And he gets it to the 32. Good enough for a 1st down.
And they pick up a 1st down, and that came out of the fullback position. But as you and I both know, that doesn't necessarily mean that's a fullback playing in that spot.
Well, times have changed, right? The old school fullback doesn't really exist anymore.
We're not getting that same player out of college with all the spread offenses, not very many pro style where you actually have a true fullback. We're having to make do in the NFL and put guys in that spot who emulate it but aren't necessarily that position.
Give him 6 on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
throw on second down. Finds Roberts left side. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. Give him 12 yards on that one. It earns him a fresh set of downs.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders, hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or?
Better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
Here's Carr, and he's going to drop this off to his fullback. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. They'll get 19 yards there. And the Raiders are going to have a first down. Ready to go now in the second quarter. Brandon Gaudin, Charles Davis. It's the Raiders in possession of the football. And they're on the move here. They've got it 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, here's Carr. Wide open, Amari Cooper. It's a gain of 21 that time. And the Raiders are going to have a 1st and goal. So Amari Cooper out of Northwestern High School in Miami making a nice play there.
And it's so funny that when I was going through the draft process when he came out of Alabama and was inquiring about him and his skills, they say it all began back in Miami. He really became a pro receiver at a young age because of his attention to detail and precision. But don't forget his athletic ability. That's what made that catch there.
He did spend 1 year with Teddy Bridgewater as his quarterback there, so that helped back in high school. Shift together here from the D-line. That was second down run for Murray. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. They get 5 on the run, but it leaves them with a tough 3rd and goal forthcoming. Defensively, I think they can smell a stop. Ball right around the 5 here, brings up 3rd.
And I think what they've done is they put doubt in the minds of the offensive guys. What do we do? Because now you don't have a go-to play. Either side they pick, throwing it, running it, it won't be easy.
And the play clock's running down. Carr now to throw. A 50-50 ball here, and it's intercepted. Delvin Brum with a pick. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. And that last drive was very, very balanced, pretty methodical. You think they go that route again?
I'm always of the school that until they stop me from doing something, I'm going to continue. And I think that that's exactly what they'll look to do. But the beauty is the balance that they've created sets up opportunities for big plays. Looks like a run, turn into a play action, and throw one deep.
He's brought down that time by a couple of Raiders. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, that's what their job is. And really, a lot of the time, they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold them to no gain.
They come out 5 wide, 3 of them to the right side. Breeze to throw on second down. Going up top. And that's caught inside the 30. Touchdown, New Orleans. Brandon Cooks, 79 yards. And the Saints are able to strike quickly for 6. And there they got him the ball. Just get it to him, let him do the rest.
You know, he probably said that to his quarterback as he broke the huddle. I like the play clock. Just get it to me. I'll take care of the rest of it.
Helping out his rack, right? RAC.
Run after catch, and he loves that, and he's going to carry that in at contract time.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And this will be a touchback, so a first chance here in week 1 to see the ball be brought out with the new rule to the 25-yard line. And now here come the Raiders. Looked like they had something going last drive. Then the interception happened. Will they recover?
We ready?
The memory they need to keep with them is that they did have something going. They were moving the ball on offense, had a nice sequence going. Don't worry about the other part. You can't get that back. Let's go back to what you were doing well before.
I thought you were going to say they need to have no memory, but remember the good part, forget the bad.
I like that even better.
One receiver left, two to the right. Now Carr throwing on second down. Over the middle, Amari Cooper. It's complete. And he's brought down. 15 yards through the air and a first down. There were a couple holes there, partner. Was that zone coverage?
That's exactly what it was, Brandon. When you see man-to-man, that defender runs with the receiver. In this case, they were just taking care of their zone coverages, their responsibilities on the field, and the offense found the open space.
Fresh set of downs here. Again, we'll see the pistol here.
We ready? Red 18. Red, baby, alert.
Now a play fake here on first down. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And all the way in. Touchdown, Oakland. Amari Cooper, 58 yards. And the Raiders are back within a score. And they just ran the fly route there, didn't they?
You broke it down perfectly. He ends up catching that one and taking it all the way into the end zone.
Well, thanks. It was pretty simple to break down, though. I mean, that's just a guy going, running on the go route, making a play.
Speed,
Kills.
speed, speed. And what does it do?
It kills.
There you go.
This game back within a touchdown now as the kickoff's away. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. And they will simply, Charles, be looking to duplicate what they did last drive when they were able to push it in for 6.
And they hope it'll be that easy, right? To be able to take exactly what happened before, replicate it. They may have to make a few additional changes along the way because I'm sure the defense will make some adjustments, but they've got to have great confidence having scored the last time out.
They go play action here on first down. Rush coming, and he's taken down. The first time All-Pro in 2015, Khalil Mack in there to drop him with his first sack of 2016. On second down, here's Breeze. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
So many offenses want to include their running backs into their passing offense and be able to swing the ball out or check it down to them. But sometimes those guys are just not as comfortable catching the ball as they are running it. A dime look defensively for the Raiders on third down.
Yeah, you're right. 2 extra DBs out there. On third and long, it's Breeze. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. It'll be a pickup of 12 yards. And that's going to bring up a fourth down. Here's Thomas Morstead on now to punt it away on fourth down. This is away, but boy, headed straight for the sidelines. And out of bounds, this will depend on where they spot it, and they'll say at the 45. And now Oakland ready to take the field. Last time they were out, they scored. Still trailing here, though, so some work to do.
But it's okay in terms of mindset. Because they scored the last time, they're not quite as worried about being down on the scoreboard because now their confidence is a little bit higher. They feel like they've got something going, and they feel like they can attack again and put more points on the board.
Are you scoreboard watching if you're the offense, or are you just focused on this drive?
We wouldn't be telling the truth if we said that they didn't scoreboard watch. Everyone does it to some extent. But you've got to set it aside right now and just focus on this series. That'll take care of the scoreboard if they punch it into the end zone.
One receiver to the left is Cooper.
All right, here we go. Red 18.
On second down, here's Carr. Finding time. And he floated one out there incomplete. He was trying to get it to Seth Roberts. And it'll be 3rd and 10. Defense has set themselves up nicely. 3rd and 10 now. Throwing his Carr on 3rd down. And he can't come up with a pick. Nearly his 2nd of the game. Instead, 4th down. Here's Marquette King now to kick it for Oakland. Well, they've had a pretty frustrating first half here offensively, and then just continued there with that incompletion.
Yeah, definitely frustrating for them, but heartening for the other guys. Those stop troops, they're enjoying things right now because they've made it very difficult for them throughout the half.
So dangerous with a football in his hands. Call that a return of 38. And the Saints will take over with a 1st down and 10. And some changes here as the D-line separates some. They'll run with Ingram here to begin the drive. Just a yard on the 1st down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Tough day, tough sledding right there, and it's been that way the entire game. Not a whole lot of room to ramble for him.
Yeah, you're right. It's been that way all afternoon. Didn't get a whole lot better there. Now Breeze throwing on 2nd down. Underneath to Spiller. And he'll get it down to the 47 here. They'll give him 8 on the play, and that's going to make it 3rd down and less than a yard. 2 minutes to go here in the first half. We're back to New Orleans after this. They come out here in the eye. And they'll let their fullback try and push the pile. And he's got the 1st down yardage before he's brought down at the 42.
3rd inches, they just handed to the big battering ram there. That's football 101, isn't it? That's bread and butter. Turn around and hand it to the big fella and let him get forward for a 1st down.
Back to the ground, this time with Ingram. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. 5 yards is the tally on 1st down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
And that's exactly what you want on a 1st down run. Pick up 5 yards, bring up 2nd and 5. The defensive line, though, they've got to figure out a way to out-leverage the guys up front because the offensive line is winning at the point of attack.
Kill. Right. Mike 50.
The motion man here, Flainer.
Hey, easy.
On 2nd down, Ingram. And this time he's not going anywhere. They'll get him down right at the line of scrimmage. They'll say no gain on the play there, and now it'll be 3rd down. Big boys down there in the trenches and a nice play to stop them cold. Nothing there.
Yeah, when you talk about big boys, you're talking about those defensive tackles, those nose tackles. They're not just big, they're immense. And what a big-time play there.
And the Raiders call on a nickel set for 3rd down. Halfback sent in motion. Now Breeze. Dumps it off for Spiller. And he's going to get to the 31, enough for the 1st down. At 5 yards on the play there, the drive will continue.
We always talk about having to read defenses and how complicated that is. Well, this was an excellent read. Read the pressure and got rid of the football before it even got to him for a nice game.
And when they're blitzing like that, running back usually a good spot to go with a football?
Without a doubt, because he's right in your sight line or he's near you. So you're able to just get it to him easily. And once he gets in space, that's usually a good matchup for him.
See if they stay on the ground for 2nd down. Breeze to throw on second down. He's going to take a shot for the end zone. And, oh, not only did he drop it, he dropped it in the end zone.
When teams take shots at the end zone, you've got to defend it the same way you would defend the first down sticks. You defend the goal line exactly the same way. They can't cross that. You play through the receivers. And on that play, that's exactly what they did and batted it away.
And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. And he dropped it. Now it was tipped. Altered the ball a little bit, but he dropped it. And now 4th down.
But, partner, anytime someone tells me that fundamentals are leaving the game, I'm going to show them this play because they couldn't get to the passer. So what do you have to do? Get your hands up in the passing lane, and they batted it away on a 3rd down attempt.
And he missed it. It's no good. And this score will stay right where it is.
Everything looked good. Good snap, good hold. Sometimes, though, the ball just doesn't want to go where you want it. And this one winds up no good.
And they're going to go soft on the corners. Carr now on 1st down. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. And he is out of bounds on the other side of midfield. Well, they'll get 16 yards there. And it'll give the Raiders a 1st down.
They ran that one well, and not only did they pick up a nice chunk of yardage on the screen, they sent a message to the defense. Rush the passer all you want, but you better be careful. We can hit you going back the other direction.
All right, here we go.
On 1st and 10, here's Carr. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out, incomplete.
It looked like they had something there, but I think that he was thinking about running with the football before he actually hauled it in, and that led to a big drop.
And unless this is a quick incompletion, this is likely the last play here of this first half.
All right, here we go.
The final shot here before half for Carr. He gets this one to Michael Crabtree. They pick up 12 on the play there, and they move the chains. The big completion there, and he gets out of bounds to stop the clock.
Very heady football. That allows them the opportunity to go ahead and line up and kick one right before the half ends.
So we've reached halftime here on opening weekend as we send you on over to Orlando where we'll check in with Larry Ridley. He's got our EA Sports halftime report. Larry? So both teams have their marching orders, and we'll get going again here in quarter number 3. That'll be taken in the end zone. And there's a flag on the field. And a good effort on the return there gets them across the 30 to the 33-yard line. Face mask penalty, and Charles, you were a defender. You know sometimes in the heat of the moment, it's hard to keep your hands away from that face mask.
Sometimes you just get out of position as a defender when you're trying to make a tackle, so you end up flailing away, and your hand gets into the wrong spot.
And the wideout in motion. Time running out here on the play clock. They'll run the counter with Murray. And they'll stop him right on the midfield stripe. A gain of 3, 2nd down.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks and allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
They'll come out in the pistol. Murray the lone setback. From midfield, here's Carr. And that is incomplete. And some extras coming up on the line here, readying for the blitz. Throwing his Carr on 3rd down. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. A gain of 8 and a first down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
On first down, Murray. Room here to run. 20. Latavius Murray. And all the way in. Touchdown, Oakland. Latavius Murray, 41 yards. And the Raiders, they're within an extra point of tying this thing up. So a tie ball game here as the kick's away. That's fielded in the end zone. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the second half. First half showed us some pretty good offense. Tie game, we'll see what the second half brings.
And it'll be interesting because I think both sides feel pretty good about what their offenses are doing. Got to wonder what adjustments are being made defensively to try and get a spark and maybe slow down the other side.
But here, do you change up anything on this opening drive?
Not offensively, you don't. You got everything.
Now Breeze wants the football.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
On second down, here's Breeze. And he almost intercepted it. They haven't picked a ball off yet. That probably should have been their first. And it's third down now. So incomplete on second down. Now they'll look to convert here on third. And he goes in motion here in the backfield. Now Breeze on third down. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
On any passes in the middle of the field, anyone who's going after the football is going to be conscious that it's probably going to be contested, and often physically. Sometimes that leads to drops.
Fielded at the 20. Through an opening, and there he goes. And all the way in. Touchdown, Oakland. Their dangerous wide receiver with his first career touchdown in his first career game. And the Raiders have moved out in front. So after the punt return touchdown, let's see what their opponents can do with this kickoff. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll wind up getting an extra couple yards here for his trouble as he'll bring this one out to the 27. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. On first and 10, here's Breeze. Throw complete right side to Cooks. 17 yards on the pickup there, and the drive will continue. It's a first down.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
So here we go, first and 10 now.
Break it down, fellas, break it down. Ready? You ready? You're Mike 50. Here we go. 11. Ready,
On first down, Breeze. They go screen. This is Ingram. Give him 8 on the play, and that'll make it second down.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass. Looked like it was coming together. Looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid game.
Completed pass play. Now let's see if they go back to the air or to the ground. They come up in an offset eye. Breeze gives it up to Ingram. And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. Give him 3 yards and a fresh set of downs.
Not too many more ideal situations at 2nd and 2 in order to try and pick up a first down. They ran it and picked it up.
Offense comes to the line now, 1st and 10. And the first carry for the former Clemson Tigers, C.J. Spiller. And that play goes nowhere. Taken down, losing yardage at the 50, right at midfield.
As I watch that play unfold, stereotypes were being broken left and right. As a corner, you're often back there guarding against the pass. But how about that diagnosis and read and getting into the backfield and making a nice play and a tackle?
From midfield, here's Breeze. It's complete. Fleener, right side. And he's brought down. He goes for 18 there as the drive will continue.
And there's a nice completion to Kobe Fleener, and no one can be happier than Drew Brees.
Yeah, he had Jimmy Graham for all those years, Ben Watson last year, and now coming south from Indianapolis, Fleener.
Here we go.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And down inside the 15 he goes. It's a pickup of 19. And that leads to a New Orleans first down.
For so many years, I was convinced it was a myth, because you always hear about the smaller running back. Oh, he gets lost, you can't find him, and sometimes that's part of his genius. But it's true. You get behind big offensive linemen, the defensive line guys trying to find him, trying to peek around people to see him, and he gets lost. But this guy gets lost in a good way for his offense, picking up big yardage.
They come up with one back. That's Ingram. And they'll give it to him here. And the hole closes quickly here. He can fight only to about the 4. A 3-yard pickup on 2nd and 4. Now they'll need to convert here on 3rd and a little more than a yard. This will be play number 8 here on the drive. It's 3rd and a yard. And the defense definitely showing blitz here. They'll try and run with their fullback. They'll be marked inches short. No gain on the play. And that's going to lead them to 4th down. So the snap will come from the 3, but remember, they don't need the touchdown. They can get the first down if they get a yard, and the ball gets to the 2. On the keeper, it's Breeze. Just a 1-yard pickup on the play, and the decision to go for it pays off. They've got a 1st and goal.
Well, remember, they could get the first down without getting the touchdown. And he's able to fight all the way down to the 2-yard line. So it's a big conversion there on 4th down. And now they'll get 4 more shots from there.
They'll look to run with Ingram. And no signal yet. I don't think he got in. He didn't. They'll mark him at the 1.
It is definitely hard to find space near the goal line. You always want to have a guy in the game running it who can create his own.
Long drive. The defense just cannot seem to catch a break and get off the field. 2nd and goal as the offense looks to try to... And he takes it across and into the end zone. Touchdown, Saints. Mark Ingram punching it in from a yard away. And the Saints are within an extra point of tying this thing up. And he's got it up and through. Back now here live in New Orleans. All even as we get ready to start the 4th. Set to go now with the kickoff. These two teams all even again as we continue in this wild 4th quarter. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And in hindsight, probably should have stayed where he was as he'll only get back to the 16-yard line. And now Oakland ready to take the field. And that recipe on their last drive that resulted in a touchdown looked pretty good, so they'll be hoping to do that once more.
It takes me back to when we sat with the offensive coordinator and the head coach. They felt pretty good about their game plan and thought there were some holes in the defense, and they exploited them the last time out. Let's see if they can come back and put together a similar drive.
And we'll see if they can do just that. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
The best defensive linemen, they play with great leverage so they can get low and not get bowled over by offensive linemen. They have excellent hands. They can throw people off on a play. We just saw a great example of a really good run stop by a guy playing the defensive tackle position.
All right, here we go. Red 18. Red 18. Set.
Now Carr throwing on 2nd down. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. And he gets all the way down to the 30-yard line. A big play there on the catch and run. 52 yards. So after that big play, let's see if they can catch their defense maybe on their heels. First carry here for Taiwan Jones. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down. Murray, the lone setback. Another pistol look here. And he'll get it up the middle. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. And it looks like a pickup of 6. That leaves him with 7 yards to go on 3rd down.
On a 2nd and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still run the football and gain enough yardage to put themselves in a good spot on 3rd down.
Carr going to throw. He's just going to dump this one off to his fullback out of the backfield. A gain of 4 on the play, and it'll be 4th down. So a lot rides now on the big left leg of Sebastian Janikowski. This to break our 4th quarter tie. And the 38-year-old vet able to split the uprights, and that will break our tie and give them a 3-point lead. So the drive here ends with a field goal, and that does give them the lead, but this one is still a long ways from over.
And you love to be able to look up at the scoreboard and see that you're out in front, but then you take one look across the field and see that offense is raring to come back out, and you think, I don't know that field goals are going to be enough to get us home.
And last year that would have been a net gain of 5 on the return. This year he stopped where he would have been if he had taken a knee, and that's at the 25. Breeze now on 1st down. He's got time. He's going to go for a big play downfield. Brandon Cooks, the receiver he was going after. And that'll make it 2nd and 10.
One of the toughest things about playing defensive back is pattern reading, trying to figure out what they're doing. And on that one, they had the fly, just sending a guy downfield with the in route accompanying it, what people call a dagger route, trying to hit the guy underneath after the clear out. In this case, though, they're not able to get it done.
Yeah, they said forget the underneath route. They went for the guy on the fly, but as you said, incomplete.
Got it.
Breeze will try again on 2nd down. Trying to get it to Thomas, and it's intercepted. Picked off by that. He takes this one back into the end zone, and the Raider defense delivers a score.
Well, partner, I do know this. If you're a defensive back, you have more chances to make a team now than ever because people are using 5 defensive backs, 6 defensive back packages. Not exclusively, but way more than before. That was a nickel package there, and what a pickoff.
Why is that? Why are they using that more?
Because more people are throwing the ball on earlier downs than ever before. This has become a passing league, and because of that, more defensive backs on the field on most plays.
Janikowski on for the extra point. And his guys will take a 10-point lead. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six. And now the kick is away. That's fielded in the end zone. And last year that would have been a net gain of 5 on the return. This year he stopped where he would have been if he had taken a knee. And that's at the 25. How does the Saints offense now as they get ready to take over here? The defensive line disperses a little bit here, maybe expecting a pass. Breeze now on first down. Left side and caught by Flainer. And he'll go out of bounds across the 35-yard line. A good start there on first down. They've got to have this drive.
No doubt about it. Down a couple of scores. They have to find a way to put it in the end zone. Chunk plays, explosive plays. That will be the key to this drive.
Breeze going to throw. Throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete. He was trying to hit Thomas that time, and it'll be 2nd and 10.
I hope I don't sound too rah-rah on that one, but that's the exact right throw. Either your receiver gets it or no one gets it. Give him a lot of credit for being really precise with it.
Got rid of it. No one got it. Breeze now to throw. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. Looking to go back to Thomas again. And that's going to make it 3rd down and 10. And the offense looking to pick up the first down after the 2nd down incompletion. Now Breeze on 3rd down. And too much juice. It'll be out of bounds, incomplete. All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it.
Ready. Waiting.
Cooks will come in motion right.
12.
Now Breeze, got to have this one. Pressure from his right, and he goes down hard, flat on his back. And now Oakland ready to take the field. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met.
And they're definitely showing blitz here.
We ready? Red 18. Saber. Saber. Here we go. Red 18. Red 18.
Now Carr going to give to Olawale. He can muster only a yard there, and they'll be left with a 3rd and very short. And in this situation with a lead 4th quarter, they're liking keeping the ball on the ground, I'm sure.
That's just smart football, but you know the defense has to know it as well. They've got to stop them here. So now we're going to see that loading the box in a big way. 6, 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take, puts a little bit more pressure on your big offensive line.
They'll run here. It's Murray. And now the Saints are going to take a timeout on defense. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the 4th quarter. And Janikowski bangs it through, and that will stretch the lead up to 13. So they settle for just the 3 there, but clearly anything helps when you're trying to salt one away here in the 4th.
Without a doubt, I think a touchdown would have been the final nail. But 3 does give him some breathing room and lets him build up a little cushion.
And with a new rule, that decision to bring it out will cost him about 5 yards as he only gets to the 20. Back out onto the field now comes the New Orleans offense. And on that last drive, went for it on 4th, turned it over. Good job by their defense, though. They held them to 3, but this offense, they've got to be a little bit better, a little bit more careful here.
And sometimes when you see these calls...
That's caught at the 25. Touchdown, New Orleans. Brandon Cooks, 79 yards. And the Saints have cut it back within a score.
I know Paul Revere talked about by land or by sea, right? You know, 1 by land, 2 by sea. He didn't mention air because right now we're seeing a big-time performance, aren't we? That's 2 touchdowns so far in this game.
Where'd you pull that one from?
And, you know, every now and then I actually listened in history class.
And you're just a scholar all the way around. You're reading all the time. I like that you fit that into the broadcast.
You know, I just grab a nugget when I can.
And the hands team for the Raiders able to secure it. Fourth quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
Time is starting to run out, really becoming a factor. We'll see if the defense can get the stop they need to get the ball back to the offense.
Oh, baby, all right, here we go. Hey, we go rally. Rally. We ready? Hey. All right, here we go. All right, and yeah.
Murray the lone setback. Carr to throw on second down. And that one got tipped. Kind of threw everything off. It brings up third.
Well, we're not playing 3 yards in a cloud of dust football anymore. I kind of get why those old school coaches sometimes didn't want to throw the football. Because if it's popped up in the air, it almost turns into slow motion. And both sides trying to get to the football, and you're holding your breath wondering whether it's going to go good or bad for your team.
On third down, Murray. And he's able to get it to the 33. Good enough for a first down. They only get 2 there, but on 3rd and 1, that's all they needed to keep the drive going.
I don't know about you, but that almost felt like old-time football there. 3rd and 2 is not necessarily just a running down anymore. A lot of times they want to throw the ball. They went back to the roots and powered forward and got the first down.
Time for a break. We'll come back, see what transpires after this. First down and 10 now for the offensive group.
We ready? Red 18.
They go play action here on first down. On the crossing route, he hits his man, Amari Cooper. And all the way in. Touchdown, Oakland. Amari Cooper, already his 2nd touchdown here in this opening weekend. And the Raiders add 6 to their lead. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he will be brought down here at about the 17-yard line. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. And last time the formula was pretty simple. 1-play drive, long pass. That maybe they just want to do that again, right?
And that's exactly how you want to draw things up. Whether it's on your grease board, right, in your playbook, 1-play drive's exactly what you want on offense.
That's caught at the 25. A big play that time. Breeze hooking up with Cooks. 58 yards. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. It'll be their 3rd and final timeout, so as they talk things over, we'll step aside. Throwing on first down is Breeze. And Cooks has it over the middle. It goes as a pickup of 23. And the Saints are set up now with a 1st and goal. Working from the gun. And this is caught down for a late touchdown. So hold everything here. This one's not over yet.
And they put it in the end zone, which was job 1. Now they have to convert. And then it's decision time, isn't it?
Yeah, so this is what all teams go through. You look at the clock, you're inside 2 minutes, look at your timeouts, make that onside kick decision.
Yeah, how do you feel about your defense, where you are in terms of the scoreboard, and the time left on the clock, as you noted, so many things to go through.
And the hands team for the Raiders able to secure it. They had to go for it with no timeouts remaining, though now. This one's as good as over.
They gave it an effort. They tried their best, did everything they could to try and get the ball on the onside kick. You're exactly right. They had to try it. It was their only option. And now this game is done. Just take it, kneel, and call it a day.
And a great spot to start this drive from here. Now Carr with a give to Murray. And not much running room. Down to the 32. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
That's a good play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball. Held them to a gain of 2. And that changes the playbook a little bit now for the guy calling plays. 2nd and 8. Now he's got to probably think about going to the air instead of maybe staying with the ground game.
All right, here we go. Red 18. Red 18.
And the play clock is going to run out here. They're in no hurry to get a play off. Victory very much in sight now as they'll take a knee. They'll lose a yard, and it brings up 3rd. They will take the knee, and it means a great start to their 2016 campaign, a win here in Week 1. And a Week 1 victory always feels good. Starting the season off on the right foot, very important.
And what does every coach preach? Being 1-0 each weekend, especially on opening weekend.
So for Oakland, their future home is still a bit murky, but one thing's certain, they're 1-0 to begin the year. And they'll head back home next week to take on the Atlanta Falcons. Meanwhile, for New Orleans, they obviously fall to 0-1 with the defeat. And they'll look to regroup next week as they head to MetLife Stadium to take on the New York Giants. So that'll just about do it for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, log on to easports.com. Till next time, we say so long from the Bayou.